Welcome. You read the title, you saw the thumbnail, you clicked the video. Yes, of course. Please, take a seat. Just be honest with me. Have you ever experienced these symptoms? It's okay. This is a safe space. There are no judgments here. Anger is a very real emotion to have, and it's typically the first emotion we have when we lose in a competitive setting of any kind. But there are other feelings beneath the surface that play a part in how angry we get. Understanding why we get mad when we lose is essential to resolving it. Now, disclaimer, I'm not an expert in mental health or anger management, but I've had tons of my own reflective experiences throughout my life in competitive gaming, and I want to share with you guys what I've learned that's helped me keep my composure in those high stakes, stressful situations. It's important to understand, especially in fighting games, that feelings of anger and frustration will negatively affect our in-game performance. That's a fact. Suddenly we lost the ability to anti-air properly, our reactions become dulled, and we make rash and oftentimes irrational decisions that we wouldn't normally make. Do not become your own worst enemy. Trust me, this is serving as a reminder to me first, as sometimes we can't seem to get out of our own way. A positive mindset leads to growth, remember that. Let's kick it off with something fundamental that can be applied to almost every situation. Stop putting unnecessary pressure on yourself. One of the quickest ways to get angry is losing to a player or character you wouldn't normally lose to, or to a character you just aren't very familiar with. Another way that's very common is failing to reach your rank in the ladder, or worse, dropping ranks. This leads to feelings of disappointment and oftentimes looking for something to blame your loss on. This character is broken, this guy plays like a scrub. I lost because my opponent smells like Bo Rai Cho from Mortal Kombat X. What? Alright, we don't have to include that example. What the fuck? Let's keep in mind, at the end of the day, our goal is to win. Finding every excuse in the book to dismiss why we lost is counterproductive. Be constructive in the way we want to approach things. Second piece of advice I want to talk about is having a student mentality and what exactly that means to us. Learn how to take L's as a learning experience. Take the time to cool down, then come back and reassess what you could have done better in that match. After all, what's the fastest route to improving at fighting games? It's to increase the amount of things you can do as a player. When you're playing fighting games, open up a notepad on your PC, phone, laptop, whichever is most convenient for you, and create a list of everything you want to revisit as you play. What's the frame data on this move they hit me with? Lab how to block this specific mix-up. No matter how good we get at a game, there is always room for improvement. Moving on to my third piece of advice, become mentally untouchable. Listen to these statements made by an infamous philosopher of our time.
I refuse to let the actions of mere fellow humans distract me from serenity. Hate is nothing but an expression of colluded emotions. Hate can be controlled. Hate can be tamed. Hate is nothing but an insecurity within oneself, but can be overcome.
Were you expecting LTG to be featured in this video about rage and anger? Yeah, probably so. He raises some great points that can be applied to this very scenario of controlling your anger. I refuse to let the actions of mere fellow humans distract me from serenity. Do not allow players or spectators to get under your skin and throw you off your game. Keep in mind that we're playing fighting games. There's nothing more beautiful in competition than two people going head to head without relying on a team, which also means that trash talking is a very common occurrence. There's no avoiding
Give him a chance.
No, stop talking. Shut your mouth real quick. So, for one second, shut up. I'm trying to tell you that you did something good, you idiot. Now listen.
Now, how we respond to the trash talk is what's important. Use it as a means to hone in on your game and raise your focus levels. Don't allow it to tilt you. If your opponent tilts you, they've already won. Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time, was a huge trash talker, both on and off the court. He would get into players' heads before the game even started. Now, if some dude talked trash to Mike, he made their lives a living hell by turning up the intensity and making the game as hard as possible for them. Be like Mike. I saved this tip for last because it's something as gamers that we never want to be told in the middle of a heated session. Just take a break. If you're mad and you're approaching your boiling point, you won't have a very fun and productive time. Oftentimes, it'll lead to an experience detrimental to why you turned on the game in the first place. Instead, channel that anger constructively. Step away. Go for a walk. Blow off some steam at the gym. Go scream into a pillow. Do something other than sit there and burn up. And trust me, you'll come back refreshed and ready to jump back into the action with a clear mind. Thanks so much for tuning in, y'all. Those are my tips on how best to control your anger playing fighting games. Please like and comment below what are ways that you control your anger in gaming. And please consider subscribing for more dope fighting game content. It means a lot. Until next time.